What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Get Your Teach On, the Flip Side podcast. We are in season 3, which is titled Ask Get Your Teach On Anything, but it's not just Get Your Teach On. We have some amazing guests that are joining us all season long, and I've got another one sitting right here on the Flip Side couch. For the first time ever, welcome the one and only Amy Lemons, everybody.
Hello. What a shock and surprise that I'm here.
I mean, really, you've never been on the podcast before. You just happen to be. Would you like to explain to the people why you're not here for the podcast?
No, I actually had no idea I would be recording a podcast.
Yep.
Welcome to the Flip Side.
Yep.
So I came into town because my boy Tanner from Love on the Spectrum was being interviewed, and I am a huge Love on the Spectrum fan. I follow.
Like y'all don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
It's like almost to where she needs therapy about it.
Right.
I'm sure.
Yeah, because
addiction.
I follow them all on social media. I listen to the Mom's podcast. I'm very I am consumed.
If you need a fact about Love on the Spectrum,
you need to know about any of the
Amy
castmates.
is your girl.
I know it all.
Yep,
Yeah.
you do. I mean, we've had so many different guests at Get Your Teach On, concerts, things at conferences. Amy is never interested in a photo op or a moment. But the minute I said, oh my gosh, you're never going to guess who we have on the podcast, Tanner, she's like,
There.
Jared, book my flight. I am there. I am coming to South Carolina, to Anderson, South Carolina, of all places,
And here I am.
to meet Tanner. So I said, why not? If you're already going to be here, you're just going to be on the Flip Side podcast. So surprise, everybody. What an amazing guest to have. So if you don't know, Amy and I were just talking about this. Amy and I have been friends for
It's been a long time.
15. Well, I guess Wade and I we just celebrated our 15-year anniversary. So I'm guessing probably 12.
Yeah. 12, 13
12, 13 years. Yeah. We've been friends and best friends.
Yes.
And would you like to explain to everybody, because I'm sure this is normal, nowadays it is normal, but would you like to explain to everybody how we met on our dating app?
Yeah. So we are online friends. Back in the day, the good old days, we had teacher blogs.
Yep.
Hope was second grade shenanigans.
Yep.
I was step into second grade because we love an alliteration, of course. And Hope was blogging and I was blogging, and I don't even know how it happened, but our friends became pen pals. And so Hope,
Not our friends, our students.
our students.
Yeah.
Yeah, not our friends. Our students became pen pals, and we did it for a few years.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And so Hope, of course, she's like the master teacher. Her kids' letters would come and they were beautifully written.
I was like, you better have good handwriting. I'm not sending this to Amy
and I was
Lemons.
like, oh my word, y'all's writing skills are off the charts. So I was like that. We've got to do our best because their writing skills were incredible.
Well, to be fair, that was also the group that I looped with. Don't
Right.
forget. So,
Yeah.
we had some things established. But I guess we didn't even dive into this, which just shows who we are and what our relationship is. But tell the people who you are.
Oh, my name is Amy Lemons.
Yeah.
So I was a first grade teacher, second grade teacher, a fourth grade teacher for many years. And I started sharing and creating activities and lessons for teachers while I was in the classroom. And have been doing that now for about the same, we kind of started at the same time. You were a little bit ahead of me. And so, that's what I do now, is create all the things for the teachers.
Which one of the biggest questions that we get is, how do you create a hustle outside of the classroom, which we get. So we're going to discuss that on an upcoming episode. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that. But okay, before we dive in and just kind of chit chat, have best friend chit chat, because I don't know what else to title this podcast. I have some this or that's for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there's school this or that. So
oh my goodness, I'm not good at making choices.
That's why I chose this for you, because it requires you to make a choice.
Heads up, I love all the things
She does.
all the time.
Don't ever ask her opinion. I literally ask her husband for his opinion because I know that she's going to tell me, I think it's all great.
It's great.
Which we love a good cheerleader in our corner. So, okay, would you rather have a surprise assembly in school, or would you rather have a surprise parent observation?
Oh, assembly.
Definitely right.
For sure.
Like that's not even a this or that.
I would
really.
prefer to not have a parent observation ever, surprise or not.
I mean, I did work in a school where every year
you had
we
it. No, thank you.
They spent a whole day. Truly, it was great. But, okay, unannounced fire drill or glitter in the carpet?
Unannounced fire drill.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I'm not a big glitter girl.
It would always come, though, when I was, like, in the most important part of my lesson. like inevitably.
Yeah.
And so then I'd have to come back, and I felt like I wasted a whole lesson because then I had to start the next day. But also glitter is, I think I'm just so used to glitter in my life now.
Yeah, you are. I'm not a glitter girl.
I literally, after Get Your Teach Ons, you know, we love a little bit of confetti, a lot of it, and I'll still find it in my book bags and things like that. Okay. Kid vomit or the copier jams.
Copier jams. I can't do kid fluids, period.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
at all.
No, me either. Not even my own. Like, that was probably one of the hardest things in the classroom, especially when I taught first grade. Like, I cannot see a booger without gagging, like ferociously gagging.
That's a little dramatic, but
I can't. Like, you can ask Wade. He has to. If Maverick is snotty, he has to blow.
Yeah.
I cannot do it.
Can you pull teeth?
No, I can't.
I had a
Anything
teacher that I taught with, and she was the tooth puller. Like, she loved it. So we always just send the kids.
Now, what I can do is poop. Poop does not bother me. And if they were to pee all over the classroom, that doesn't bother me either.
Yeah.
But
I've had pee in a seat for sure. Not me personally. It was a first grader.
Okay. Would you rather have a data meeting, or would you rather have recess duty every day?
Recess duty every day.
Yeah.
I don't like the data.
Yeah.
I appreciate the data.
Absolutely.
I don't like the data.
And we use it to make sure we're getting results.
That is
Just
great.
To make that clear.
That is great.
Okay. Let's see. Dress up day, like pajama day, or picture day.
Picture day.
Yeah.
But I'm not big on a costume.
You're not. It's not your vibe. It's
not my vibe.
I'm like, give me pajama day all day. I don't care what the kids come dressed in. We're still gonna do what we need to do. But okay, let's see.
I also don't want to.
Oh gosh, this is actually a good one. Staff potluck mystery casserole lunch, or a student homemade gift of slime. I mean, it all depends on what school you're working at.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I love a potluck.
Yeah.
Jared does not love a potluck.
Jared does not want anybody else.
Especially teaching, I would eat literally anything anybody brought. It never fazed me until Jared got in my head about it.
That's in the now.
Because you're just so hungry.
It is true. I mean, that is true as a teacher. It's like, honestly, if there is anything in the staff lounge, and most of the time I would forget my lunch, you're so hungry that it's just like anything looks.
Yeah, I mean, even to take the time to pack a lunch, you don't have time.
No, you don't. Okay, student excuses. Would you rather hear I lost my Chromebook charger again, or I forgot my password? Oh my gosh, the forgot my password is so painful. But also the Chromebook charger or that tablet chargers.
Also, I forget my passwords all the time.
I know.
Probably the charger, because I could probably give them a charger. The password, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
But see, this is why I just don't even, I mean, I'm going to get whatever for this, but I hate technology.
I do too.
It's such a waste of time. Like, I get it. Kids need to be exposed. They're exposed.
They
exposed
are. Plenty.
And they're going to be just fine. Like, let me have my teaching time.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just going to dive into a couple fun things.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm so nervous right now.
She doesn't even know what's coming her way. And I've got a whole tablet full of directions that this could go.
Okay.
So if you weren't a teacher, what would you be?
I think about this all the time, because I always think I was trained to be a teacher. I've only ever been a teacher. So it's very difficult to think about it. I mean, I think I might do something in children's literature, maybe. I can't really illustrate for a book, while I do draw a lot.
But you are an author.
Kind of. A little bit.
You are an author.
But I'm also not talented in writing. But I think I would like to do something in the children's picture book industry.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
Well, nowadays you can use AI to write the whole book. And
That's true. Also, we could illustrate
pictures.
They could illustrate it.
Authored by AI, illustrated by Amy Lemons. There you go. I just found your perfect job for you. I mean, I should be your best friend.
I do like talking to AI. We're pretty close. Yeah. Me and Chat.
I would love to be a singer of some kind. I don't know whether that's like a worship leader or like I would love to sing. Like, that is my live stream, is whenever I see people performing and singing, I'm like, oh,
you know what I think you should do though in your next life is decorate people's homes for Christmas.
I also could do that.
You could do Christmas trees.
I could do Christmas trees. I could do kids' birthday parties. I could do bedroom decoration.
Because you're so like, I can do my house for Christmas, but I have a very specific style. Yeah. Whereas you can do a lot of different styles.
Yeah.
And you do, like, every year.
Yeah. Maybe that has to do with my Nightmare Before Christmas theme that I've had for the past 2 years. But we are going back to traditional Christmas this year.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, so obviously both of us have been in this teaching game for quite some time. We talk all the time about how much it's constantly changing, constantly shifting. We also, I think, are very similar to a lot of educators in the amount of pressure that teachers put on themselves. And we also talk, though, and so this is where I want to head with this. We also talk about how, in the classroom, there's many things that you have to just shut your door and you have to teach. You have to break the rules. You have to. What did that look like for you in your classroom? Because I don't care when, regardless of when you're teaching, whether from the get-go of the world till now, there's always going to be rules. There's always going to be mandates. There's always going to be curriculum, certain focuses. How did you navigate the world of expectations from administration, district, state, and getting results for your kids?
Yeah, so I was very fortunate in the fact that they trusted me. I could use whatever materials I wanted. I was so thankful for that. I had to, of course, follow a specific scope and sequence.
Yeah.
Even that, though, is tricky because sometimes it's time to move on to another skill and your kids are not ready yet. And so that's where I really had to get creative with it, because if my kids haven't mastered this one, especially in math where they build on each other, just even taking more time, I truly feel that teachers are professionals and they've been trained and they have experience, especially when you're talking about veteran teachers that have been teaching for a long time. And listen, I know there's a lot of debate over we should all be doing the same thing. We should all get to choose. And I understand that. But I also think we should be able to trust teachers, especially the professionals, the teachers that are advocating for their kids. Yeah. And they're saying, this isn't best for my kids because that they have that like good intentions and they want the results. So thankfully I was very fortunate. I didn't have to follow by a specific textbook. There were some programs that came. That's the thing about programs. They're always going to come and go. And a lot of times they come really quick and they go really quick, and they move on to the next one. So I was able to navigate that by using my own things, which can be tricky too. Yeah. It's tricky to create your stuff. I mean, that's very time consuming to have to be pulling and creating things constantly, but really the scope and sequence is where I struggled with the most but one of the things I did to combat that was getting on the committees where they were the ones creating the scope and sequences and in charge of that. So
you could be a part of the conversation. Yeah. You could be a part of the conversation and kind of drive because all of this has to be results focused. It's not just based on feeling of, I wish we could, or I hope. It's because you knew this was working in your classroom that you could then drive people kind of and inspire them to go in that direction too. But I think to your point of trusting the professionals, now again, that trust is only there when you are getting the results that you want to see. But a listener asked, and we're not saying names or where they're located because some of these questions could get them
in trouble.
Could get them in trouble.
We don't want to get anybody in trouble.
We don't want to get anybody in trouble. So a listener asked, what do you do when your administration doesn't trust you?
Yeah. My question is always, how often are the administrators in your classroom?
Yeah.
And I know there are some that are in more than others. So if they're coming around, that's one thing. But if they're not in your classroom, try something new. Yeah. Try something new and document whatever you need to document.
Documentation is
key. And the results that you get from it, so that whenever you go to them, because you can't just say, I like to do this. Well, why do you like it?
Yep.
What do you see from it? How is it benefiting your students? What can you show them to help them trust you? Because they are in charge of a lot of teachers and they're seeing a lot of different things when they walk into different classrooms. Yep. And they have a big job, so I think you just have to have not just this is what I like, but why, and any kind of documentation of what worked, what didn't work. Be honest with them of something that didn't work too. And the differences that you've noticed based on, and maybe don't try to throw everything at them at once, that what is one little change that you want to make or do something different. Yep. And I think especially with an administrator that's saying you have to use this curriculum and in this way, well, what can you try for a certain amount of time and then show the results from it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's such a great starting point, and you do have to show that I'm willing to do like what you're asking me to do, but also I'm advocating that this is having better results. And it doesn't mean that I'm not doing this completely, but I might shift or I might modify or adjust. And so I think that's a great starting place, just to have that open, vulnerable conversation, right? Some administrators aren't necessarily willing to do that.
Right.
Because let's be honest, there are some bad administrators out there, like just period. And it's not that they have bad intentions, but at the end of the day, the impact is showing a little bit different than positive outcomes. So I think that's a start. The second thing is, I think if you're really passionate about something and you are seeing results, invite them in.
Right.
Come and watch this lesson. I want you to see the mastery that my students are getting. But I think a lot of times the reason that teachers don't necessarily do that is because maybe they're not actually getting results,
Right.
or they don't even know that they're getting results.
Yeah.
So to invite someone in, that seems like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah.
You have to prove the results. So get the results first, then invite them in and let them see those results. Because if those are visible, I mean, what more can you possibly do? And, that's one of the reasons that I wanted to teach the model lesson this summer at Get Your Teach On, was because I don't just want to talk about the things that we're doing in schools. I want to show that this is results driven. So you've got to be willing to show that. And I think, conversation, again, evidence of that happening in your classroom, continuing the conversation. But if it gets to a place, and I feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had more, if it gets to a place of you feel like you've tried everything, you have exhausted your resources, you have been open and honest with them, you have tried to understand their perspective, you've tried to get them to understand your perspective, and it is still toxic or they are still not trusting you, you can move schools.
Right. There are so many schools out there, and there are teachers needed everywhere.
Yeah. And I hate for that to be like even something, because I know that's a difficult conversation, and nobody actually wants to have to move your classroom and learn a new school and learn a new curriculum. Like, there is a lot involved in that for teachers. But at the end of the day, if you're staying in a school because you're comfortable there, but you're miserable, you're never going to have the outcome.
Yeah. And I think that one little thing might happen.
Yeah.
And we let it
festers.
Yes. And it becomes a big deal when it wasn't a big deal initially.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's best to just remove yourself from it.
Yeah.
And try something new. Or maybe you've been somewhere for a really long time and you just need a change of pace or a change of scenery.
Yep.
Change of teammates. There's so many different factors in it.
Yep.
And that's a good thing about education, is there are so many different schools. You can change grade levels. You have options with that.
I mean, I was just watching recently, Josie Bensko has been on this podcast, and she had taught for 9 years, and she talked about the 10-year teaching itch, and then how she went away, walked away from the classroom because she wasn't finding happiness and joy there necessarily. She went and taught at the collegiate level, and now she's back.
Yeah.
So the classroom is always going there. To be like, that's okay to try other things.
Yeah.
That's the great thing about our profession, is that, the next year you can hop right back in there if you didn't find something else that brought you joy. So the last thing is, a lot of teachers are probably listening to this on their way to school, and maybe they are struggling with a toxic coworker, or maybe they do have that administrator that doesn't appreciate or value them or support them, or maybe it's parents, or maybe it's their kids are a really tough group of kids. What is a piece of advice that you're giving to teachers who are struggling to drive down the road? Because we've all been there.
Yeah.
Turn off our car. Sometimes I would just sit in my car for literally 10, 15 minutes and try to talk myself into getting out. Yeah. So maybe you're sitting in that spot right now. That is real, and that is okay. What advice do you have to those kind of teachers?
And we've been there. I've been there. I've had a difficult child for a whole entire year. I've had a teammate that didn't like me. I've had a principal I wasn't fond of, different years. And so you're going to have a different challenge every year. I think it's just each day is a new day. And today doesn't have to be the same as yesterday. If it's a toxic teammate, separate yourself from them some. It's a new day, a new opportunity, and that this isn't forever, that this is temporary. And I know that it's hard though, especially with a student, if you're having a difficult student, and they are there every day, because they're the ones that are there every single day.
They don't miss. Their parents are like, what time is school starting? When can I get there? They're usually there 30 minutes early when the doors open.
Yeah, but just realizing that this is not permanent, that this is temporary. It's a moment. Today's a new day, tomorrow's a new day, and every day's different in the classroom. I think you just have to hold on to that.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like I need to do a whole episode on this, but I read the book Let Them by Mel Robbins. And I think it's just such a powerful mindset to be able to release, okay, let that student voice their, frustrations differently than I would hope, or let the parents, or if you are struggling with other people impacting the joy that you have for teaching, I highly recommend that you read this book. I read it for myself in a season that I was struggling with other people too. And it's a let them mentality. Yeah. Let them. But I think the powerful part is let me. What am I going to do in a response to that for myself? Because really you're the only one that you can control. You can't control the kids. You can try.
Right.
You can't control the parents. You can't control the administrator. You can put things in action to hopefully get different outcomes from them. But that doesn't mean it's always going to work. So what can you do for yourself, and what decisions can you make? And I think it is really powerful to remember this isn't forever.
Yeah.
Sometimes I even find myself in that mentality. Oh my gosh, this is how my life is going to be forever. And when I say it, when I'm not in a season of dark, that's so dramatic.
Yeah.
But in that moment,
it feels like it.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
And that's okay to feel like that. So remember, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay to that other people are causing some negative emotions, but we don't want you to live there and stay there. So you've got to figure out what it is.
Yeah. What can you do today that will bring you a little bit more happiness today?
Yeah.
What's one little thing you could do?
There's your Monday motivation.
Yeah.
Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever the day of the week is that you're listening to this. Well, Amy, I'm so excited to finally have you on the podcast, even if it was as a result of you coming just to see Tanner for his episode.
Which was worth it.
So make sure you've checked that episode out if you have not yet, because it is so good. But Amy, we have a tradition here on the flip side. Whenever I close out an episode, I'll say catch you on the, and we have to all say flip side.
Okay.
And it's just the two of us, so we have to make it really great.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for joining us for this episode with my good friend, the one and only Amy Lemons. Hopefully you got a little Monday motivation, or Tuesday, or whatever the day of the week that you happen to be listening to this podcast. We hope that you'll join us again next week, or check out some of the previous episodes from other special guests. But until then, we hope you have an amazing week, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.